can talk about and own, and that helps sell your proposition, but it also helps you run the business in terms of how you optimize and how you get people working for you and become efficient. So methodology, process, absolutely. But then you touched upon there about what, and I think was one of the weakest areas of all agencies that I talk to is step number 6 is advantage. So it's demonstrate your difference, but it's can you communicate how you're not just different, but what difference you make to your clients in a pithy elevator pitch or whatever you want to call it, but in a way, not just because you can say the words, but in a way that's actually meaningful to some of your clients. I know you can, but other agencies, can you get that across in a way that clients, prospects say, wow, that's what I want, that's what I'm looking for. Not a list of services, not I'm doing paid media and I do SEO. So what? What does it mean for me?
Yeah.
What if I'm a client, a business, what does it actually mean for me? I mean, if you can nail that, which is difficult but not impossible, that's when, I think that's what we can really make the difference and make it stand out.
What I really like is what you've been doing on LinkedIn. I know you follow some of the stuff and I've talked about my LinkedIn post, but I'm always following liking your LinkedIn post because you started doing this standout agencies do X, standstill agencies do that. What brought that about?
Well, a couple of things, actually. I needed to practice what I preach. So I preach, of course, as you do, content and marketing yourself.
Yeah.
And mine was sporadic. So I set myself a challenge to say I'm going to tweet and post on LinkedIn every day for a year. And I'm about, that's just one tweet, but I'm, maybe 25 days in, I guess.
25 days.
To the year, so we'll see. But so that prompted me. So I need to practice what I can't go and sit in front of agencies and so you need to do better marketing than them. So get your social media. You haven't posted for 6 months. So that was important. Generating revenue through a business through it was important, which I do. And I'd sort of take my eye off the ball a little bit with that. But the third thing was somebody said to me, a friend of mine who I'm linked in with, said to me, it wasn't that model that I was using, that content, but it was other content. And she said to me, I caught up with her for coffee, and she said to me, I like how you post on LinkedIn, Gareth, because you post certain times, but you don't post anymore. You don't post a lot. You don't post every day. And if you did, I would unfollow you. So I went, oh, right. So I drove home from that meeting. She's a lovely lady, this lady. But I thought, you know what? If she unfollowed me, I'm not bothered because she's not an agency. She's a lovely lady, but she's a contact, and I am bothered in terms of I wouldn't want to offend her, but nevertheless, I thought that would be good because the people, if I'm losing followers she's never going to use my consultancy services for agencies. She's not an agency, so if she's not following me, I don't care. Frankly, I want to stay friends with her.
Yeah,
but I thought, you know what? If I don't know if she has or she hasn't. Because you can't tell on LinkedIn. But if she's unfollowed me, because she's sick of this stand out stuff, bloody hell, Gareth, that wouldn't be such a bad deal, big thing. Because she's not an agency. I hope I like to speak to her and keep in touch with her, but we'll never work together.
Yeah, I mean, I personally like it because it's good, because then it's a constant reminder of quite a few of the posts you've done is like constant reminders of I remember that being in the book. Actually, I need to think of that. And as agency owners, we fire, we've got neurons firing like a million miles per hour and got so many things to do. Like this to me this week is a 2-day week for me. I'm in Germany tomorrow, but then there's so much to do from a business perspective. There's so much to do to make sure the clients are happy, the team are happy. We're moving accountancy firm, we're moving HR firm as we continue to grow and progress, and all that needs to be in this month. And I'm thinking, can I afford to be in Germany tomorrow for a few days for myself? And it's good because you can get sidetracked very, very quickly. And it brings you back down to, I want to say reality, but it brings you back to the word focus. And I always like it because it allows me to focus. It's like, actually, you know what? I kind of needed to read that today because then I need to go back to that element or that project that I was working on, which has kind of died down, but is very, very important to where the agency goes next. And it's been really, really helpful. And obviously everything we've done prior to that has been really, really useful.
Just said before I forget, Matt, if those tweets and LinkedIn posts, if you ever get bored of them and unfollow me, don't. Just pick up the phone and say, Gareth, stop. I know you said you'd do it for 12 months, but we're 6.5 months in. Stop, because it's just boring now. That is important to me.
I like it. It's different. I haven't got bored of it yet.
No,
and I don't know if I'd have the heart to say I'm bored of it. But then again, it's like,
you're the barometer.
Who are we to judge other people's type of content? The fact of the matter is, if you look at LinkedIn, it's an absolute minefield of content. This month, I've had a lot more traction because I've just shared personal experiences more than anything else of recruitment, hiring, conversation I had with an individual who wanted to kindly disconnect, which I found hilarious. That one got 15,000 impressions because I said I couldn't plan off the cuff and I don't plan last minute, but if you let me know a week in advance the next time we lead, be more than happy to schedule time in. Sorry, I don't work like that. I'm happy. I will kindly disconnect, regards. And I was like, well, that's a bit rude.
And he wanted to sell you some things,
yes.
didn't he?
And he was in Leeds, but unfortunately, last week was really busy and it's last minute. And any free time I have goes to my clients. And why shouldn't they? They're the ones that my priority and my focus should be on. But it kind of shows you, because you've got to try new things. Now, you said you were 25 days into doing it. I'd be interested to see where you get into in 3 months' time. Yeah. I'd be interested to know what those engagement figures are. So what I'd like you to do, I'm going to set you a task here, is after 3 months, share your stats in terms of how many followers you had 3 months before to how many followers you have now, because you can see the breakout of the type of followers you have. And those new followers, have a look at them. How many of the agency focus or agency owners, how many more inquiries are you getting naturally, or people engaging with you in conversations, but also how many impressions are those posts getting, how much engagement is it getting? Because that, I always say, after 3 months, that's the point when you should actually look at reviewing the effectiveness of what you've been doing. So just a little bit of advice from me to you, and I'm glad I can actually give something for a change. But I'd say review that, and what I'll do is when we get to 3 months in your podcast, we'll invite you back in, and you can tell us, did you stand out on LinkedIn?
I've no followers on LinkedIn, and I've got you. There's only you that follows me, man.
I know for a fact that's not true. Let's
hope it isn't in 3 months.
But it'd be good to know, because like I said, you've got to test and play with the stuff you're doing on LinkedIn. We've just launched a TikTok account. We practice what we preach. When I was reading this book and Standing Out Die, it was what I was really, really good about it, because from the back of that, we introduced a podcast. So actually, the consultancy word is, well, how am I going to stand out? I don't want to sell. I want to educate. What's the best way of educating? Providing content. Well, how can we deliver content? Well, we can do that in written form, or we can do that in visual form. What are most people consuming right now? Visual form of content or audio form of content. So we went out and we did the bite-sized events and we recorded them. And they were really popular pre-lockdown, and we're obviously coming back with the bite-sized events this month. And obviously, I think the turnout will be a little lower, but we've got to build that process up, and things take time. And you've got to measure the results. Same with the podcast. The fact that this is season 3 alone, to me, is success. We had a great first season. We changed it up season 2. We went from 1 hour episodes once a month to weekly episodes, which were a little longer, like 30, 35 minutes, a lot longer, and they worked really, really well. And then this year, as the other 2 agencies have just grown as well as we have, it's time commitments. We decided, well, why don't we make it more around, us and what we offer in terms of our specialism, not to sell our specialism, but I say to educate our specialism to those people that have questions and queries about it.
Yeah.
So
that's a good point. That's a really good point, because when I use the word sell in that line, I mean, I'm not just saying this. I don't mean go out there and sell as in salesy. I mean, educate, talk to people about your specialism, focus on your specialism.
Yeah.
As you said, not so you have to sell it at some point. But, education is key, isn't it?
Before we go, I know you've not asked me to do this, but your books, I got it off Amazon, and I know it's available on many publisher websites. So my personal recommendation, it's actually one of the favorite books I've read. If I can get my words out. I always get something wrong, don't I, when I record. Last time it was the word skeptical or whatever it was. I couldn't say that. But highly recommend buying this book from Gareth Healey, Stand Out or Die, How to Make Your Digital Marketing Agency More Visible, Desirable, Valuable. Highly recommend it. Go out, get yourself a copy. Whether you're an agency owner or not, even if you're internal working in a marketing department, there's some elements in there that you can focus on, some exercises that I think would be really, really good. So again, Gareth, thank you very much for joining us.
it's been a pleasure, and thank you for that plug, and it's great to see you.
Yeah. And thank you to the listeners for joining us again for another great episode of Bobble Pod. Again, please don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. And if you're on YouTube, click on the bell notification and subscribe to our channel. And we look forward to having you on our next episode, where we'll be talking about actually the cost of living and the impact that's having on marketing over the next few months and the rest of the year. Thank you very much.